Well, good morning. It is 6:45. It's actually 6:45 UK time, 6:45 Spanish time, and I am on a ship in the middle of the ocean on a cruise for a couple of weeks. So there's the ship somewhere behind me. It's huge. Trading doesn't stop. Got up early to come out and find somewhere to grab a coffee and to check the markets. Tough this morning, rough at sea last night, but never mind. So while I search for somewhere to find a coffee and somewhere to base myself, have a look at a couple of things that we did last couple of days, the boarding and also the captain's drinks party last night. Where are we tonight? Okay, I'll speak for you. We're at the here we go. Captain's cocktail party.
Thank you very much indeed. And before we
I just saw a white fish. I saw a white fish. Oh, that.
Spot, but basic error. The laptop was flat, so I charged it up, but the batteries ran down, so I had to go back to the room. And now just logging in a little bit late, but I've got a charger, I've got a station, and I'm set to go. Now doing the weekly market analysis. Should have done that last night. Difficult when you're on holiday. So looking at the weekly pairs, relative strength, before dialing into the daily and then actually specific trading opportunities. And I'm sat in the middle of the Mediterranean, and on the radio, the music, we've got "Rock the Boat, Baby." How appropriate is that? The lyrics are "Rock the boat, baby. Don't tip the boat over." Well, let's hope not, eh? So it's day 22 and up bright and early again on the ship. Can't see outside, it's too dark still, but never mind. I'm probably about the only one in the cafeteria, but that's the life of a trader. Anyway, day 22. Yesterday got pretty tied up with family stuff on the ship. Managed to check into my charts a few times and had some good positions on in the pairs that I'm trading. I hit my target on pound dollar shorts, my cable trade, and also put on a position in euro Japanese yen short. So I'm going to check in now, do my daily relative strength analysis, and then I'll do a quick video and showcase what trades I'm in. Today we land in Cadiz, or Cadiz, I think is how you pronounce it, in Spain. So we're going to be off the ship, which is going to make it a little bit difficult. But yeah, do my best to adhere to that 4-hour check-in. But it is quite difficult, obviously, when you're on holiday with the family. But let's jump into the charts now and do this morning's analysis. So we've landed in Cadiz, or Cadiz, and just having a quick walk around the promenade. You can see it there. I've done the morning market analysis. Most of my positions seem to be in good health. One slight problem though, which you get, I guess, when you're traveling and trying to trade, is I get the internet from my charting platform, but for some reason I can't log into my broker account. So I'm going to have to try and resolve that a little bit later, but it's not a major issue. I don't tend to focus too much on those broker accounts, because if you start looking at the money and the profit or loss in the account, it can get you to do stupid emotional stuff. So what I tend to focus on is what the charts and what the price is telling me, and so far so good. So yeah, we're going to have a little walk into Cadiz later on, but I'll be trying to be checking in 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. We're on a slightly different time scale here. We're an hour ahead, but I'm still adhering to the British time. So I've just got to make sure that, well, I've not put my watches forward, so I can't really go too wrong, but it's just made it a bit more challenging. So it's just after 10 a.m. and popped back to the cabin, left the wife sunbathing just to check up on positions. Pound dollar cable progressing very nicely. This is the 10-year low here. I've now set a limit order here to get me out of my position in my private broker account and also in eToro. US dollar Japanese yen looks to have turned at the top of the range. If we can get through these stops here, we should hit my initial target, and then I'll be looking to hold towards the bottom of the range, but that's progressing pretty nicely. I need to watch for a bounce here off the 50 simple moving average. I've got my target slightly below. The reason for that is to achieve a 1-to-1 risk reward before I take off half of the position. Australia US dollar, just one thing to mention, I'm not in a trade as yet. We've just moved from a bullish mode to a bearish mode. The sentiment indicator that I use as well has turned to over 70% probability of short. So that means that the majority of retail traders, over 70% of retail traders are long, which means I'm short. So I'm looking for an opportunity here. That's it for the majors. Euro Japanese yen was a trade I put on, what was that, yesterday. Used half a position due to correlation risk. We traded up above the 50 simple moving average. Now, normally I'd be out now, but there's two reasons why I'm just giving this trade a little bit longer. And the reason for that is that we're at the top of a downward trend line on the daily chart here, and we're down on the day so far. And also in terms of the sentiment indicator, that is now over 70% probability that we're in a short trading mode, if you like, which means that when I look at my retail sentiment indicator, that means over 70% of retail traders are long, which means I take a contrarian view and I'm short. So I think there's a high probability we'll get down to this target. I'll hold that for a little bit longer. If we haven't closed below this 50 simple moving average, probably by the end of today, I'll be out of that position. Euro Swiss franc, similar, entered here a few days ago. We've gone above the 50. We're kind of hovering here. Again, I've taken off two 2/3 of the position. I'm holding a final third, but it's a similar argument that I'm going to give this trade a little bit more time, given the fact that the sentiment indicator is strongly pointing towards bearish territory, and we're in this downward trajectory on the daily chart. We've had 1 test, 2 tests. This potentially could be the 3rd test. Aussie Japanese yen, my short trade. This was a Golden Gate strategy, having got through the 200 simple moving average. I've just hit my target in my private broker account, but not as yet in eToro. The reason for that is the different spreads in the different platforms. So I've taken off half the position in my private broker account, which is what I'm using to chart my progress in terms of the 36-month FOREX trading challenge. So good news there. Stop has now been rolled to break even. Australian dollar, Swiss franc. It's kind of a similar story. I shorted here. This was on a full house strategy, and we're now tracking down towards the target to take off 50% of the position. So after a few days prior to coming on holiday of drawdown, we are now in a number of profitable trades. My job now is to hold these trades for as long as possible. Am I going to hit target for this month? Very unlikely. There's only 1 trading day, which is tomorrow, left. Having said that, any trades that are open, that I opened in the month, I'll continue to hold, and will factor into the numbers for the month. So it is still possible, but quite difficult. So I'm really looking to get back to a position of my head above water, and to make a marginal increase on opening capital in month 1. Learned a lot about my trading approach, my own trading psychology. So had a period of drawdown this month, but have learned a lot from that process and that experience. So time this afternoon to get off the boat, relax, and have a little wander into Cadiz. Got a couple of hours. If we don't make the time back, we'll miss the ship, which you can see behind me, which is absolutely huge. So we're going to do some sightseeing now.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through?
So that was Cadiz. Nice little city. Had a good walk around, but now it's time to get back on this beast of a ship. Wow, so blowy outside today. The wind has really got up on the Mediterranean. Yeah, first video of the day. It is the day 23, the last day of the first month of the 36-month Forex trading challenge. I was up early doing the market analysis, closed out a couple of trades. You can read more about that in my blog, stgforex.tv. And I've got 4 trades on, and in fact one of those trades has just closed. That is the cable trade that's just flashed up on my screen as I record this. So I've got 3 trades still on, all fully protected. There's FOMC later on this evening, so didn't really want to be in a trade, unprotected trade ahead of that. So 7 p.m. UK time, we'll see what happens there. But now I'm going to have a little wander around the ship and pick up the kids from the kids club.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.